Now at 6 on Time Warner Cable News on ABC 45. Heavy rain making its way into the Triad. Meteorologist Doug Lindsay has your complete Weather on the Ones forecast. Also, the man accused of killing Kelly Bordeaux appears in court today. We'll bring you the details. And Thomasville City Schools are working to improve their security plan. Hear why.
You're watching Time Warner Cable News on ABC 45.
And thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sharon Stone. Those stories are coming right up, but first at 6, meteorologist Doug Lindsay is here. The first check of that Weather on the Ones forecast. And Doug, we saw more rain today than I feel like we've seen in a while.
Yeah, you're right. And unfortunately, we're seeing a whole lot more now, too. We thought a lot more on that coming up in your full forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, see you then. Thank you, Doug. The man accused of killing Private First Class Kelly Bordeaux made his first appearance before a judge this afternoon. 27-year-old Nicholas Holbert is charged with first-degree murder. Police say he led them to Bordeaux's body yesterday. She was missing for more than 2 years. Amanda Weber tells us what happened in court today. Thomasville City Schools are trying to improve security plans. The district has been working with police to identify areas for improvement. Police discovered each school had different signals during a crisis, which can confuse staff that moves between schools. They also emphasize making sure every lock has a key and knowing how doors need to be locked. The district has already implemented some changes.
For example, in our high school gymnasium, we've already done computerized locks. We've added the cameras. We've added the panic alarms. Even here in the central office, we've added the panic alarm. We've added the AED here at the central office as well as in our schools. So yes, the community can already see evidence of those changes.
Police suggest creating a box for police or staff members with maps of the school, important information, and keys. Money the governor set aside for school security helped the district get more panic alarms and an additional resource officer. State lawmakers got their first detailed look at Governor Pat McCrory's $21 billion budget proposal today. Lenny Supal takes a closer look at possible changes to higher education in North Carolina. The proposed budget also waives the fee for participation in the apprenticeship program for community college students. It also allows military veterans who live in North Carolina to pay in-state tuition without that one-year wait period for residency status. There are new rules for North Carolina's legislative building. The changes come after massive protests in and outside the General Assembly walls last year that resulted in hundreds of arrests. Supporters of the changes say they are meant to clarify things like what kinds of signs are allowed in the public and what kinds of actions can lead to arrest. Opponents say it's meant to quiet the voice of protesters.
We are going back 30 years or 50 years or whatever, and that's not what we need to be doing. We need to have more citizen participation. We want citizens to vote, then let them be part of the process. Don't take away their access and their ability to see their representatives and see government at work.
The last time legislative building rules were updated was several decades ago. The changes come as Moral Monday protests are set to begin again on Monday. A major endorsement in the Republican runoff primary for the state's 6th District U.S. congressional seat. Outgoing Congressman Howard Coble has endorsed Phil Berger Jr. in this race. Bob Costner takes a look at the impact of that endorsement and reaction from Berger's opponent, Mark Walker. The winner of the July 15th GOP runoff primary will face Democrat Laura Field in the November general election. And ahead here at 6 on Time Warner Cable News on ABC 45.
A dangerous.
You're watching Time Warner Cable News on ABC 45.
Randolph Community College students are learning how to grow food that requires little to no maintenance. This is called aquaponics, where growers breed fish and use their waste to feed plants in a soilless environment. The school currently houses Nile tilapia to help grow tomatoes and peppers, among other things. This process is easy to do and a vital way to feed people where there are food shortages.
Our system here provides our students opportunity to learn about plant growth and animal behavior and life cycles, but also we're a model for community to see how they could grow plants in an urban environment.
Educators say anyone can make an aquaponics system. To get started, all you need is a small fish bowl, some goldfish, and just a few plants. 1 in 3 Americans puts their health at risk by mixing prescription drugs with supplements. A study from the U.S. Army Research Institute of Environmental Medicine shows medication mixing is a common mistake. Brittany Edney has more on some of the combinations that should never be made.
News.
And doctors say you can also speak with pharmacists about medications and dietary supplements, but that's not a substitute for keeping your primary physician in the loop. And stay with us. Your sports is up next here on Time Warner Cable News on ABC 45. And the Battleship North Carolina received a big donation today. Hear who gave it to them. Now here's tonight's Carolina Minute. A judge dismissed a request for a protective order from the girlfriend of Carolina Panther Greg Hardy. That's because she didn't appear at court this afternoon. Also at the hearing, the woman's attorney stated that he is no longer representing her. A judge ruled today that the fired interim chief of the state Capitol Police was wrongly terminated last year. Tony Asion was fired for letting off-duty officers work at a Raleigh nightclub. Club BED was said to have a reputation of violence and other problems, though no evidence was ever presented to prove those allegations. The judge ruled that even if it was true, the presence of officers would be a good thing. He ordered Asion reinstated as assistant chief with back pay and benefits. Well, dog lovers and their pets converged outside the legislative building today with a request for lawmakers. They are asking the Senate to consider a puppy mill bill that would establish standards of care for large breeding facilities. The legislation passed last year in the State House. It is now stalled in the Senate. These stories and more available anytime on Time Warner Cable News. And still to come here at 6 o'clock, stocks fell again today. We'll have that update with our crew from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. And after this quick break, Doug will tell us how long we should prepare for those showers and thunderstorms in your Weather on the Ones forecast.
Out there, that is your Weather on the Ones forecast. Back to you, Sharon.
Thank you, Doug. And this is just the beginning of storm season. Before the next one hits, you may want to put an emergency plan in place for your family. Know where you will take shelter during a storm. And flying debris is a threat in tornadoes, so store blankets or mattresses nearby. When a tornado watch is issued, turn on the TV and a weather radio to stay alert for warnings. Have a predetermined place to meet after the storm. Now, if a tornado warning is issued for your area, it is time to take cover. Avoid windows, go to a center room in the basement or lowest floor. Cover yourself with that mattress or blankets to protect against falling debris. And if you're in a mobile home, get out. Even if it's tied down, it's not as safe as a sturdy building. Now, here's a quick check of your sports.
11 o'clock, I'm Mike Solarte, and that's sports at 6.
Well, retailers are blaming winter for lower earnings. Let's get the latest on the economy now from our team on Wall Street. Join us for the late edition of Time Warner Cable News on ABC 45. Hundreds of people are in Surry County for an annual taxidermy conference. Hear why organizers say this event continues to grow. That's our time here at 6. ABC World News with Diane Sawyer is next. Hope to see you back here at 11 on ABC 45. You can find us anytime on Time Warner Cable News. Have a great night.